Hi, welcome back to day 2. Today we're really going to dig in, so I ask that you turn off all distractions, no cell phones, no emails. This is literally less than 10 minutes, so please give me that time. Also, if you haven't completed your action items from yesterday, figuring out your why and calculating your BMI, please pause this video and do that now. Today I'm going to talk to you about 3 ingredients that you have to eliminate from your family's diet. These 3 ingredients are artificial sweeteners, trans fat, and high fructose corn syrup. By eliminating these 3 ingredients, you're going to clean up your family's diet and you're going to be able to get rid of 98% of junk food. Let's start with artificial sweeteners. Sugar substitutes are basically anything that you would use instead of table sugar. Mayo Clinic defines artificial sweeteners as synthetic sugar substitutes, but may be derived from naturally occurring substances, including herbs or sugar itself. Artificial sweeteners are also known as intense sweeteners because they are many times sweeter than regular sugar. Many people use artificial sweeteners because they are 0 to low calorie substitutes for real sugar. Originally, they were developed for the diabetic, but obviously there's a huge market for them in our weight-conscious society today. But obesity rates have not declined since the introduction of artificial sweeteners, so it should be clear by now that they don't really work as a weight management tool. What's even worse is that because they are so sweet, they contribute to developing a sweet tooth. Have you ever noticed that when you eat something really sweet, you kind of experience flavors a lot less? That's because the more our taste buds get used to the sweet taste, the more sweetness we require to actually fulfill that sweet tooth. In a way, we get desensitized for flavors and naturally sweet fruits and veggies such as carrots. However, the good news is that once we wean off of these artificial sweeteners and take back on our sugar intake, we can get that sweet tooth back for what's naturally sweet fruits and veggies, which are actually good for us. The FDA considers these artificial sweeteners as generally recognized as safe, which means that they have been adequately shown to be safe under normal use. So what's the problem with them? Artificial sweeteners are known to elevate insulin levels. Constantly elevated insulin levels can lead to insulin resistance and diabetes. Artificial sweeteners can be labeled in a number of ways, including artificial sweetener, light, diet, sugar-free, and some of these are actually calorie-free because they are not metabolized by the body. On page 8 of your workbook, I actually have a table in which I list the most popular artificial sweeteners of today, where they can be found, and what the main problem with them is. Let's move on to trans fats now. Trans fats are man-made fats. They are made in laboratories through a process called hydrogenation, in which a hydrogen molecule is added to unsaturated fat molecules. Trans fats are harmful to the body because they increase the occurrence of low birth weight, increase the levels of LDL, the bad cholesterol, increase the levels of blood sugar, and they even actually transfer into breast milk. They decrease nutrient density levels, making foods less satisfying and good for us, visual acuity levels, omega-3 levels in the brain, and the HDL, the good cholesterol. Trans fats have also been shown to reduce the body's ability to produce naturally anti-inflammatory substances that regulate many body functions. Trans fats can be found in packaged foods including donuts, crackers, commercially fried and baked foods, margarine, and so on, and consumption of these foods should be limited. You should always look at the label to see if it contains trans fats, not just on the nutritional information, but also in the ingredient list as well. And you should look for the terms trans fat, hydrogenated and or partially hydrogenated fats and oils. Ingredient number 3 to eliminate from your family's diet is high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is basically corn syrup enriched with fructose. It's about 95% fructose by the time it gets to the liver. It's metabolized only through the liver as opposed to glucose, which is stored in the liver and the muscle tissue as well. It's also important to note that fructose is not the preferred energy source for the brain. Glucose is. Fructose does not stimulate the release of the satiety hormone leptin, which signals to the brain that we are full and we should stop eating. So consuming high fructose corn syrup actually leads to overeating. Studies have shown that high fructose corn syrup actually acts like fat in the body, making it more fat producing than glucose. High fructose corn syrup is really popular today because, well, first of all, there's a lot of marketing dollars put behind it by the corn industry. And they claim that it's very similar to table sugar in structure, which is not entirely true. Table sugar, also known as sucrose, is made from sugar cane or sugar beets. And while both table sugar and high fructose corn syrup are approximately 50% fructose and 50% glucose, in table sugar, the fructose and glucose molecules are actually bonded together by a chemical bond, and in high fructose corn syrup, they are not. So they are kind of free-flowing molecules, which is a problem. This matters because researchers believe that high fructose corn syrup increases the levels of blood fats, triglycerides, and increased levels of triglycerides lead to elevated levels of LDL, the bad cholesterol, and reduced levels of HDL, the good cholesterol. Action item of the day can be found on page 11 of your workbook, and it's actually a lot of fun. You can involve your kids in this and do this with the entire family. It's a scavenger hunt. I ask that you go to your pantry, take out a couple of boxed items from there, and look for these 3 ingredients. I'm very interested in your findings, so please make sure to share them. And in a lot of cases, you probably will find that those boxed items contain not just 1, but 2, maybe even 3 of these ingredients that you need to eliminate from your family's diet. Thank you for staying with me today, and I will see you tomorrow.